Alrighty, welcome to another Vintage Cube Draft. We've hopped in the Vintage Draft League and we'll take a look at what we got here. We've got a Ponder, we've got a Mana Vault, we've got a Wheel of Fortune, and an Animate Dead. Alright, we're gonna trophy this one. This is our plan today. We're just gonna try hard and we're gonna draft as if it were all on the line. Well, at least for now. What I would recommend if you were playing in, say, one of the 64-player drafts, which I look forward to doing more of if I can, what would you take? First pick Mana Vault, Animate Dead, or Wheel of Fortune. I think Ponder's a little behind these. Honestly, I think you should first pick Mana Vault. It's colorless, it's powerful, generates a lot of mana. That's kind of what my strategy with Cube is. Basically, mana generation engines are at a premium, and if you can generate a lot of mana, it's very easy to win the game. That's why I think Tolarian Academy is awesome, Urza, Mana Vault, just cards that add a lot of mana to your mana pool. There's a lot of ways to finish the game from there. All right, next up we've got Shelldock Isle, Sensei's Divining Top, Coalition Relic, Dothy Voidwalker, Natural Order. These are all pretty solid cards. I think I'm going to take Shelldock Isle. I think Shelldock Isle is really, really strong. It's a very low investment card, coming to play tapped island, and in exchange you maybe get to play a 6+ mana spell off it. You also get a 2-for-1 because you get to use this for mana for a while first, and it lets you play things at instant speed that you normally wouldn't. Just a very powerful card at low cost. Here we've got Othari Sun's Glory. It's a strong card, though honestly I've lost every time I put this card in my deck. I'm not saying that's fault of the Legendary Phoenix here, but it's a red-white aggressive card that costs 5 mana, and honestly it just has not worked out well for me. There's Chain Lightning, which is fine, Temple Garden. I think Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower works nicely with Shelldock and Mana Vault in terms of it's a decent interactive card for a blue deck that generates a bunch of mana. All right. It's just a fine card, nothing super special. Oh, here it's pretty easy, Scalding Tarn. Scalding Tarn, much like any fetch land, is just at a premium. It fixes mana at very, very low cost, has other effects too, like it thins out your deck for Shelldock, shuffles for things like Brainstorm, you synergy with Crucible World, Ramanop, and it's often just an untapped 5-color land. There's also Balance. Balance is, so let me actually take a step back. I didn't notice the Balance when I started talking about Scalding Tarn. I actually think Balance is the pick here. I found Balance to be truly excellent, and actually all the cards I have so far are good with Balance. Balance, if you can put artifacts into play, is just not, in fact, balanced at all. You get to destroy all their creatures and make them maybe discard cards or sacrifice lands. And actually, Brazen Bar is awesome with it because you cast Petty Theft, and this hides out in the Adventure Zone, not getting counted for Balance. So I'm going to take Balance here. And probably followed up with Mystic Confluence. This is a really strong card. Basically the flexibility. 5 mana draw 3, 5 mana counterspell, 5 mana bounce. Not all individually powerful, but you get not only the option of them, you get to mix and match. So frequently it's like counter your spell, draw 2 cards. Counter your spell, bounce a creature, draw a card. Bounce a creature, draw 2, or bounce like 3 creatures in a tempo game. So I like that more than Raugrin Triumph, which would be my next pick in this pack. I do like Paradoxical Outcome of Mana Vault, but I think Mystic Confluence is too strong to pass up. Well, I think you all know my position on Urza here. Urza is just too good to pass, and getting a 6-pick Urza does mean I think that the artifact deck is, if not open, at least not as that contested. So let's go ahead and take Urza, Lord High Artificer. This is not only a mana generation engine, it's a payoff. You generate a ton of mana with this, you pay 5, and you get to start playing cards. Mind's Desiring for 1, or I guess literally Temporal Aperture. That's the card from Saga, I think. Passing up on Basalt Monolith and Zealous Conscripts are both fine, but Urza is excellent here. Next up, I'll probably take Treachery. Honestly, I'm not the biggest Treachery fan in the world anymore. It's just kind of expensive, but I do think it's still good enough, and given where we're at right now, yeah, I think Treachery is reasonable. We're basically blue splash Balance, and we'll see what else transpires. So here we've got Enlightened Tutor, which can be good in the artifact deck. I guess this gets Treachery, which is okay. Enlightened Tutoring for Mana Vault's a pretty weak play. There's Imperial Seal, but I really don't like that one so much either. I think I'm just going to take Fairy Mastermind. The World Champ, Yuta Takahashi. Just a decent little creature that has a good effect on the game. I mean, can attack planeswalkers, can draw cards. Okay, so this pack, Thraben Inspector came back, and so did Fact or Fiction. And it's funny, I wouldn't have thought, 5 years ago, maybe longer actually, FALF has been around for a while, that I'd be even comparing these two. But I kind of want to take Thraben Inspector. It's cheap, it makes an artifact. I already have 2 5-mana spells. Yeah, I'm just going to take Thraben Inspector. I think it's great. Oh, wow. Late Coalition Relic. I like Coalition Relic. Not as much as I used to. Again, the 3-mana Accelerant is a lot less prized. Now you can cast Lelia, Minsk and Boo, and other, Oko, other cards for 3 or 4 mana already that are just great. But I still think it's okay, and I don't feel bad passing up on Hullbreaker Horror. Okay, at this point in time, I think Othari is a reasonable call. So let's go ahead. I think I'll take it over Wall of Omens. I'll splash on Othari. And Super Late Pestermite. All right. I think that's a little better than a red-green-black land. Let's just take the Pestermite. Oh, Spire Bluff Canal's nice at splashing Othari. Don't need Mizzix Mastery or Sun Titan here. I will take Opposition. I'm going to put it in the sideboard for now. Same with Inspired Ultimatum. The cards that would get me to play Opposition are something like Saheeli or Third Path Iconoclast, and maybe Retrofitter Foundry, all of which I'm kind of looking for anyway with this Urza. And Inspired Ultimatum could be playable with Dream Halls. Ooh, there's a Tinker. Now that's a card. There's also a Kiki Jiki to go with this Pestermite, but I think Tinker is just an awesome card. I'm really glad I took the Thraben Inspector. I have Thraben, Urza, and Mana Vault. Oh, and Relic to tinker away. And then I haven't seen Portal to Phyrexia yet, I don't think, or Blightsteel or Mere Battlesphere, or Triplicate Titan. I believe. I don't think I saw Portal. I think I know I didn't see the rest of them. So I'm going to take Tinker here and pass up on Lelia and Kiki Jiki as well as Cryptic Command. But honestly, Kiki might wheel. We got a Pestermite with 3 cards in the pack. There's also a Dismember, but that's going to go. And at the very least, maybe an Everflowing Chalice or a Talisman will wheel. But I think we could hope for more. All right, this pack has the Third Path Iconoclast, which, I'm not chomping at the bit to second pick this card, but I do think it's what I'm going to take. It works nicely with Tinker. It works nicely with Urza. You get to generate a bunch of artifacts that tap for mana. And I don't think missing out on Batterskull is a big deal. Plus, Mystic Forge might table. Wouldn't mind that. Oh, Fractured Identity, Palantir, Counterspell, and Mystical Tutor, but I'm going to take Fractured Identity. I was already going to play white for balance and Thraben, maybe Othari, but Fractured is just the kind of card you want to Mana Vault into, and it's just great at any point. I do like Counterspell. Passing up on that is rough, but I think Fractured Identity is awesome. Okay, so is Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith works nicely. There is a Mere Battlesphere here, but I just took another 5-drop. I feel like Battlesphere wheels a decent amount of the time, and it's not my favorite Tinker target anyway. I find that card is somewhat beatable. Ooh, this is a tough pick. Can't take the LED as much as I love it. There's Thran Dynamo, which is good with all the mana generation, and there's Preordain. There's also 2 big red cards, Goldspan and Atali, but you know what? I'm just going to take Preordain. It just makes your draws all work better. And I have Vault, Monolith, and Relic in terms of big accelerants already, so maybe the Dynamo comes back too. I'm not sure how many people are interested in it. It's a shame that we had to pass up on a Raugrin Triumph, but I like where we're at right now. Could use a little bit more in the way of land fixing, but Jeskai Artifacts with Mana Vault, Grim Monolith, and Urza is a pretty good place to be. Ooh, there's Saheeli, Mightstone and Weakstone, Echo of Eons, and City of Traders. We're not looking super Echo of Eons like. I do like City of Traders. Will Saheeli wheel? Let's say I take one of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. So there will be 2 cards left in the pack. These cards are all nominally playable if there's people who have these lands that they want. I might just take Mightstone and Weakstone. I've been pretty impressed with this card. And, well, I don't know. I actually do have 3 other 5-drops already. Honestly, I should probably just take City of Traders. I really like City of Traders. I do like Saheeli, but having the Iconoclast makes me not care about it quite as much. Okay, so here there's a Sundering Titan, and I think that's a reasonable Tinker target. There's some decks that really get demolished by it, and the Titan's actually castable at 8 mana. Plus, my mana base actually looks kind of Sundering Titan proof right now. I don't think I need Sneak Attack or Suspicious Stowaway, and Indatha Triumph's like all the wrong colors. So let's take Sunderino. Wow, late Inferno Titan. There's also Mana Confluence and Watery Grave. And Wrenn and 6. But I think I'm going to take Mana Confluence. I'm a Jeskai deck. I need some mana. Watery Grave doesn't seem to help a whole lot. I don't really need Inferno Titan. I already have a couple big cards. And Magda is good, but it's a little... I don't know. I don't like putting cheap creatures that just die in my deck. Like, Iconoclast has an effect right away and all that. Okay, Dismember Wield. So did Kiki and Cryptic and Hallowed Fountain. Interesting. Everflowing Chalice and Talisman of Green-White did not. There's also a Revoker here. There's like 5 different cards I could see taking. I think I'm just going to take Kiki, though. Having Pestermite and Kiki, I know I'm not going to get Zealous Conscripts, but this opens the door to a lot of different cards that can help me combo out. And I just took Mana Confluence, so my mana should be okay. Randomly just hate a Vindicate, whatever. I'll take Duretti, though. I'm not the biggest Duretti fan. I'm actually going to sideboard it for now. Ooh, the Battle Ball Wield. Sorry, Monastery Mentor. All right, now we're pretty much set on Tinker targets. I don't think I'm going to play Duretti. The mana's just not going to support the black-red Duretti. I'll take a Tali, though. I'm not that likely to play that either. Oh, Mightstone and Weakstone Wield. Saheeli didn't, but that's fine. I'm happy enough getting 2 cards out of that pack. All right, so going into pack 3, what we really want to see is obviously like Mox, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt type acceleration would be excellent. That's just everything you want. But even past that, something like a Tolarian Academy would be good, or more cheap interaction. Here, there's Brain Freeze, but we're not in the Brain Freeze deck. Windswept Heath, which doesn't fix us. Plateau, which would be decent, but there is the One Ring. I like the One Ring. You can untap it with Pestermite. You can tinker it away when it's bad. Note that if you tinker for the One Ring, you don't get the protection, so don't be fooled. There's also a Displacer kit, which I think will wheel. It's so good with Mightstone and Weakstone. You add 2 mana and draw 2 cards every time you play a spell. The mana has restrictions. It actually is good at resetting the One Ring and letting you draw cards off it. Yeah, let's take Mightstone or rather the One Ring and hope to wheel Displacer Kitten. Okay, this pack has Mox Opal, Volcanic Island, it does Mind Twist, and Celestial Colonnade. Flash isn't looking so good in this deck, but I'm going to take Volcanic. I think just, especially with Kiki in my deck, having mana fixing is really important. And Mox Opal might wheel. This isn't even the best Mox Opal deck. I would probably try and play it, but I don't think I can justify taking anything but Volcanic here. There's also Solemn, which I wouldn't mind, but let's just take our mana fixing. This pack has a Vamp I don't really want, a Teferi I don't really want. I think I'm just going to take Gitaxian Probe. It's good with Third Path Iconoclast, and it's actually good with Tinker at letting you know kind of what's up. Sphinx is, I think, a lower tier Tinker target, and I already have 2, so let's just take that. Okay, so this pack has Magma Opus, but we already know we're not getting Mizzix Mastery. It's got Snapcaster, which combines with Preordain and Probe all right. Technically combines with Fractured and Mystic Confluence and Balance, but that's a little harder to do and could do with Tinker. There's also Time Twister, which I didn't really like in the big mana decks. There's Lotus Petal, which is pretty nice with Iconoclast and Urza. You just tap it for mana with Urza, you don't have to sack it. This deck, I think, if anything, needs acceleration. I'm just going to take Lotus Petal here. This pack has, it has Blightsteel. I do like that as a Tinker target. There's also Chartacourse and Snap. And Mizimortals. Those are all reasonable. I think I could use Chartacourse more. If I wheel the Blightsteel, I'll be happy, but I'm not going to stress about it. Oh, wow. Spellseeker can go get Balance, but that's kind of a medium combo because it then puts a creature into play. But there's a Karakas. Not only do I have Urza and Othari and Kiki to protect, plus bouncing Urza can just be value. Karakas doesn't get Sundering Titan and is just super powerful. Let's just take that. I'm already cutting spells for my deck anyway. Oh, Deceiver Exarch or Talisman. Wow, late Reanimate. This is the 7th pick here. I'll just take the Exarch. Have two ways to combo with Kiki is nice. Also, having the One Ring makes Deceiver Exarch kind of cool. So right now, this is a card or 2 over. I'm kind of going to cut Treachery. I'll side in Treachery if I need to. I'll probably cut Fairy Mastermind. If my mana supports the Raven Inspector, I'll run it, but it's not critical that I do. I mean, for not having power, this deck's not bad. Not bad at all. Like, Mana Vault and Grim are both at their best in this style of deck. I like the Mightstone and Weakstone a lot. Oh, I really like Pentad Prism. That I will take over Consider and Memory Jar. Pentad Prism is great with Tinker. This deck's got kind of gnarly mana requirements, so picking up a Prism is nice. Do I play a Brazen Bar or Thraben? We'll see. Wow, Atraxa wheeled. Displacer Kitten did not. Unfortunately, as much as I love Atraxa, I don't think casting Atraxa is likely to work out in this deck. But I'm not going to play Baral. I'm not even going to play Dragon's Reach or whatever. I'll just take Atraxa. I'm probably not going to play it. Oh, Colonnade is nice. Pick up that. So this is one card over in a pretty solid deck, I think. I'll take Sphinx as a sideboard card. Sphinx I can side in and be happy about. Oh, interesting. Would I want Magma Opus as an overcosted card or a discard to treasure? I think I'd rather have Dig Through Time. I don't even know that I'm going to play that either, but Dig seems a little more likely to make the cut. It's possible that I cut Othari, but I have a couple ways to ramp into it, so it seems kind of nice to have. Mightstone and Weakstone is also a potential cut. I don't have the Displacer Kitten combo, and I don't have Mishra's Workshop. So it's just a 5-mana artifact, draw 2. All right, I'll take Snap as a sideboard card. Didn't wheel the Blightsteel, but like I said, I'm not that worried about it. I have 2 big creatures to tinker for. And last pick him, huh? And I have Mightstone and Weakstone in the One Ring to both tinker for if I need to. So this is piles by color. I have 3 white cards. I guess I could just kind of 4 white cards, 2.5 red cards. And this is red, blue, red or mono blue, red, blue. And I have Lotus Petal, Pentad Prism, Coalition Relic. Actually, my mana should not be terrible. I kind of wonder if I want to just play Atali also. I think I'm going to cut Thraben Inspector. Maybe I cut Mightstone and Weakstone for Atali. Like with Grim Monolith and Mana Vault, maybe I just, and like Iconoclast plus Urza mana, maybe Mightstone and Weakstone is just not as good as just playing the big dinosaur. All right. And do I have enough cards that go to my graveyard to make Dig good? I do have 2 cantrips plus Chart a Course, plus this. None of my lands naturally go to the graveyard. Lotus Petal? I don't think so. All right. I love that you can just set the lands you want. Daybreak is awesome. So currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue sources, not counting the artifacts, and I want like 10. That leaves 6, 2, 2. That leaves 2, 3, 4, 5 white sources plus Petal Prism Relic. That's 8. And 2, 3, 4, 5 red sources. This makes me want 1 less white and 1 more red, I think. Yeah. All right. Okay, this is a solid artifact deck. The 2 things that this deck is really missing. Number 1, it doesn't have any power. I mean, this is the kind of deck that can utilize a Mox or a Soul Ring pretty well. I think that the fact that Mox Opal didn't wheel, Everflowing Chalice didn't wheel, Blightsteel didn't wheel, though that one might have just been a random hate draft, means that someone else might have been in the artifact deck. I could definitely believe that. Though we did get a late Urza, so who knows? Maybe it was someone on the other side. The other thing this deck is missing is Tolarian Academy. That's specifically, and to a lesser degree, Mishra's Workshop. I would just build the deck differently if I had Mishra's Workshop. But missing Tolarian Academy is definitely real here. And Tolarian Academy is one of the best mana generation engines in the entire set. You know what? I wonder if this Atali is better than Mightstone and Weakstone. Mightstone and Weakstone casting my other 7 and 8 sounds pretty good. Actually, let's do this. Let's make this swap. All right. Let's try again. I might side in Atali, but I actually don't. I was just looking at this 7, this 8, and then a bunch of 5s. I think Mightstone and Weakstone might fit a little better here. Inspired Ultimatum is funny. I've never actually put that in a deck just to hardcast it. It seems a little rough. There is also Duretti Scrap Savant, which I think is totally legit to consider in this deck. It has to survive for 2 turns is my main problem, because having these artifacts get to the graveyard in the first place can be difficult. Brazen Borrower is also a card I could consider cutting, but I think this deck's a little bit light on interaction. Honestly, I think this deck is going to struggle against combo more than anything else because I don't have any counterspells. All I have, well, I have a Mystic Confluence, I guess. I have Mystic Confluence, the One Ring, Sundering Titan, and Balance as ways to like mess with combo decks. Like Balance, you just dump your hand and try to balance them down to 0 cards or whatever. Against aggro, I'm not as worried because I have Balance is great there too. I mean, Balance is just a great card. Third Path Iconoclast to make tokens, Urza to make tokens, and then Fracture Identity, Othare, Confluence, and my Tinker targets are all pretty good, plus the One Ring. So, all right. Let's see how this goes. I would, in fact, like to play first. And on the play, do I want to keep Shelldock, 5-drop, 8-drop? I don't think so. Even with Caracas in hand, that seems weak. This I will keep. And I'm actually going to put Sundering Titan on the bottom because I might want to tinker for it. And I'm not that worried about finding things to do with my mana. Opponent also mulliganed. Look, 5-land Preordain on a 6-card hand is still fine. Let's Preordain. Let's see what we find. It is a little tricky because I don't know what I'm playing against. So I don't know if I'm supposed to like Preordain into anti-aggro cards. But let's see what we got. Chart of Course I like. Deceiver, Exarch. I'm going to put that on the bottom, I think. I'm not very close to casting Kiki, and I have 2 pieces of that side. I have Exarch and Pestermite, just the one Kiki. So I think I'd rather just ship that. Turn 2, I'm going to Chart a Course probably off Plains, and then see what we find. All right, well, Balance will be good if I can find it. It's always great against green decks. There's Pestermite. I'm kind of wondering if I wait on Chart a Course here. So the reason to wait is I wouldn't have to discard. Yeah, I can wait. I'm basically wasting 2 mana, but I'm long on mana and short on action, so having to discard to Chart a Course when I know I already have a 3-drop. If I didn't draw Pestermite, I obviously would have just cast it, but I already know I have a 3-drop. Oh, well, that makes Chart a Course a little awkward, I will say that. Didn't really expect Trop Narset to be the next play. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, yikes. Okay. Well, don't like that. I guess I'm going to pass because it doesn't make sense to cast Chart, and I can't upkeep Pestermite and stop them from wheeling. So let's just do this. I'm going to lose my hand and draw 1 card if they have a red source, which of course they do. But that's actually not that bad because they're not getting as they have a relatively full hand as well. So oh, they let me tap it without floating mana. Nice. All right, they discarded Courser, Talisman. Well, they didn't play Talisman first? Huh, I guess they must have been playing around Days. Okay, Zernor, Blind's Eye. Ooh, they got a Spicer here. This isn't... And they're using the Narset when I can just attack it with Pestermite. And they missed off it. All right, well, I guess that's justice. Okay, that's actually a great recovery card. Now if I draw a land, I'm actually just right back in this. Obviously, they wheeled with a Narset in play. I'm not loving my life, but I just got to kill Narset. And if any land is really fantastic here. We'll see what they have. I mean, they have 6 cards in hand, so I'm not saying I'm in good position, but for what has happened so far, I'm doing better than I could be. Cyclope Jetmir's Garden is their best play. I kind of feel like if I draw a land now, I'm maybe winning. Well, Mox is pretty good. All right. Land, not tap land, please. All right. Volcanic it is. Let's play the One Ring. Play this before attacking so the Iconoclast guaranteed makes a thing. I don't want to get like ambushed, you know. But I am going to attack now. I'm not playing around flash creatures out of no knowledge of them. Okay. And they have 3 mana. Let's just One Ring now. No, we can just wait. The main reason to wait on One Ring is if they bounce or kill it in response. There's not that many ways to kill it because it's got instructable. You don't draw the card because it doesn't have the counter yet if they move it in response, but I figure I might as well wait. I mean, I could just die here, but if I don't, I'm going to refill pretty nicely. Demonic Tutor will probably be impossible to beat, assuming they have a deck that's constructed to, utilize Lion's Eye Diamond. But we'll see, I guess. Courser, oh, they already have Brain Freeze. Oh, if they just have Breach, then I'm just dead. Well, that's not true. I have the One Ring Protection right now. So they might have to wait a turn. And if they wait a turn, I might be able to find a way to deal with that, whether that be Mystic Confluence, which can barely counter it, or I guess I could draw Balance. Also, technically, I could find a red source and a Kiki Jiki. I'm going to see 4 cards over the next, turn cycle here. I'm going to draw end of turn, draw for my turn, tap, draw 2 more. Okay. I mean, we'll see what they do, I guess. Displacer Kitten. Okay. And then go. All right. Draw Grim Monolith. Not terrible. Draw Battle Ball. That is terrible. I don't think this works. Oh, what a tragedy. Because I can play Grim Monolith, but I don't have enough red, and there's no way to filter Prism into like red from colorless here. This is brutal. I'm just slightly short on winning here. I can't get to triple red out of the cards I have. All right, I mean, I guess I'll play this anyway. And play Grim. And pass. Oof. Brutal. All right, well, I did draw Kiki. I just didn't draw the red source. And the Prism meant any 5th land would have been enough, but not Grim Monolith. All right, I mean, there's so much that kills me here. Tameo, LED, Brain Freeze, yeah, that's going to be enough. Because they can loop Lion's Eye Diamond with Tameo, Displacer Kitten. Okay, so I guess I kind of want Fairy Mastermind. Fractured is still fine. Borrower is still okay. I think Balance is actually still fine because there's times when you can balance them out. Mightstone and Weakstone looks less good. I do think I want Opposition because I think trying to string together Third Path Iconoclast Opposition is actually a way I could win the game. But this is going to be tough. Battle Ball. Sundering Titan still seems okay. Othari Sun's Glory probably less enticing. Though I guess that does kind of work with Opposition. All right. I think this is fine. I'm just going to try to go for a fast Kiki kill or a fast Tinker is basically what I'm looking at here. I took out 2 of my slower cards. This is good at pressuring Narset. Could draw me cards, who knows. And again, Opposition is like one of my better ways to interact with them, where if I can Iconoclast Opposition or just go Mastermind Urza Opposition, that's already like 3 creatures, like Urza plus any other creature. Oh, Battle Ball Opposition could technically do it too if I go play Opposition, then next turn Tinker for Battle Ball. Don't think I want Snap or Treachery. Raven Inspector now. All right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see Breach specifically, but they had LED, Brain Freeze, Demonic Tutor, Tameo, Displacer Kitten, Wheel, Narset, pretty solid, and a Mox Sapphire, so a pretty solid combo deck overall. But we've got some ways to battle them. It was a closer game than maybe they think, despite even getting wheeled. This hand is not good. Okay, this hand is. Mana Confluence is actually pretty good in this matchup because they can't really punish my life total from what I can see. I am going to put Island on the bottom. I'm going to lead with Probe. I'm giving up Iconoclast equity, but I'm getting 1-drop equity if I find Preordain or something like that. Oh, their hand can't do anything. I mean, they can cast turn 3 Augur, but they're pretty far from doing anything else. They don't have black mana. All right, well, I'm going to go for speed here. I'm just going to play Relic turn 2. I'm not going to wait on that. I think that I'm not in the business of waiting around. I'll lose my City of Traders to get a speed boost. Okay, did they draw black mana? Because if they did, their hand develops, actually. They go Black Source, Demonic Tutor. If they didn't, they might just have a slow hand. Also, if they have to play Mountain or Forest this turn, they're not casting a turn 3 Leovold. Okay, they played the Mountain. I don't think their hand was a keep. You are allowed to mulligan. All right, let's go Urza. And we're just going to start playing lands here. I can't sit on City of Traders forever. Okay, Forest. I don't know. This is cube. Like, their deck has a lot of broken stuff in it. Casting turn 3 Augur on the draw with missing blue and black mana does not seem like a hand worth keeping. They could do a lot better. All right, let's charge. Let's find some action here. If not, I can always spin Urza, I guess. Okay. I'm actually, how close am I to casting that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, pretty close. This actually makes me want to play Mana Conflict. Well, I guess they have a mountain to protect my Sundering Titan. So let's go Urza. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to tap this because I don't want to use Coalition Relic. All right, not land, please. Oh, Grim Monolith. Excellent. That means I'm getting to Sundering Titan next turn. Sundering Titan next turn is actually going to be insane. Like, it's going to kill all of their lands. It might even kill a 4th land if they play a blue or black source, which seems somewhat likely. Yeah, I mean, turn 3 Urza, turn 4 Spin, turn 5 Titan. Okay. There's LED. That's obviously dangerous, but there's something to do with that? I guess we'll find out. Are they going to Wheel of Fortune? Sack LED? All right, there goes my Sundering Titan, I guess, but they drew Thief of Sanity Taiga. Funny. I mean, I assume I'm going to draw something to do. Oh, yeah, this counts. Okay, they have 3 blue floating. Next turn, I'm going to charge Relic, and then I'm going to play Battle Ball and then Opposition, and that is going to go a long way. Hopefully they don't have, like, Time Walk kill you or something. Okay, Grim Monolith. They've got a Monolith. Let's see what they're going to use their last 2 blue for. Dream Halls. Uh-oh. They might just lose here. Let's find out what they Dream Halls into. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to Dream Halls into. Wow, they really wheeled into Dream Halls plus a way to cast it and a way to kill me? Okay. Yeah, all right. I mean, that's, I guess, how it goes sometimes. What do they hit? They hit Teferi Time Raveler, Vamp, and a bunch of green cards? I mean, we'll see. If they have a blue or white card in their hand already, then I assume I lose because they get to bounce Atraxa and replay it. What do they get to keep? Instant, Planeswalker, Enchantment, Land, and then Creature. Or they could keep a different creature plus Courser and not keep the Fast Bond. I guess they have already played their land, but they could Dream Halls out Fast Bond to go with Augur of Autumn. Though, if they had another blue or white card, they would have probably not discarded Tamiyo. Hold on, let's see. Game log. They chose Fast Bond, Courser, Vamp, Teferi, Flooded Strand. So, not Breeding Pool, not Forest. Not Elvish Reclaimer, not Forest. Okay. Not Caryatid, Courser's gone. They played an island, okay. Oh man, if they hit another land, then they can bounce Atraxa and replay it with Vamp. Crack Flooded Strand, all right. I gotta hope they don't hit 2 lands out of basically 3 cards here, which is, again, unlikely. Well. Oh, they need to hit a white land now. It actually specifically has to be white in order to cast the Teferi. Though now they can Vamp for a white land. Okay, they've hit a million lands in a row. Hopefully they don't have a Plains. Oh, that's tapped. Okay, they've hit like 5 lands so far. I guess they hit the Flooded Strand and then they hit 4 lands. They have Teferi, Vamp, and 1 unknown in hand. So now they can Vamp for a white land and play the Teferi and bounce the Atraxa, but they again then need to have a way to cast Atraxa. Oh, they Vamp for Bazaar? Okay, I don't think that really works, because they Bazaar down to 1 card in hand? Okay. This has been a wild ride. I mean, storm count is 7. If they find Brain Freeze, I guess they can just kill me that way. So sure, they could Bazaar up to Brain Freeze as their last card. And then Brain Freeze me for 24, and then I would lose, yeah. But, oh, they just had the Brain Freeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Unfortunately, I don't have any Eldrazi. All right, well, that is how it goes. Let's go ahead and move to round 2. Opponent was on the receiving end of some good luck, but you know what? I've been there before. All right, this hand I will keep. I get to go turn 2 Monolith or Prism, and then I have a lot of mana on turn 3, especially with City of Traders. Ooh, Third Path Iconoclast is interesting. So let's lead on Island. I think I'm going to go turn 2 Pentad Prism for 2, and then into turn 3 Iconoclast Grim Monolith is my plan. All right, pass. No reason to play the Iconoclast here and use an extra counter, I don't think. And then playing it's like Esper Control or something along those lines. The One Ring, okay. Turn 3 One Ring is good. I think we have a decent shot of battling against that here. Let's go Iconoclast. Land, Grim Monolith, make a counter. Pass the turn, or make a token rather. Don't have up Mystic Confluence this turn, but I mean, technically I could have left it up if I wanted to play City of Traders, but it just didn't seem necessary. I'll cast it maybe next turn and it'll be fine. Okay, they get to draw up to 8 cards in hand. Let's find out what they get. Fury Evoked, exiling Magma Opus. That's pretty good. They getting to exchange cards for board presence is pretty good when you have the One Ring going, and that even makes my Chart a Course weaker. So, not loving that. It is nice that Sundering Titan would blow up their lands and not mine, if I were to find one. All right, yeah, that was a good turn. They played 3 spells that turn and a land. All right, draw. Yeah, let's go Coalition Relic. If I have to cast Confluence, discarding or tapping Grim Monolith, I will. I don't know what the likelihood of that is. They have a lot of cards, so they're probably going to put something onto the board this turn. But we'll see what that is. Jetmir's Garden, go. Okay. It's fine, I guess. I'll charge this. I could still Confluence if I needed to off Pentad Prism. Draw. Add a blue. I want to chart a course here. Yeah, I'll just chart first. Discard. I think I actually discard City of Traders. Play Shelldock. So that's already going to be active by the time I untap. Oh, Pestermite, Kiki, Preordain. Let's put Kiki there because I have, again, more of the other side of that. And then now, if they tap their One Ring, the question is, oh, well, let's first see what this is. This looks like a Shark Typhoon. Okay, Shark Typhoon for 4. I'm just going to bounce the Shark token. I'll let them One Ring, keep One Ringing. I don't think bouncing the One Ring does much. I could bounce the One Ring. I could have waited and bounced the One Ring and sponsored them tapping it. They would have only drawn 2, but at this point, I think I'd rather have the One Ring be on more counters because they already have so many cards in hand. Bouncing the Shark Typhoon token forces them to like be a little more proactive. And I could play Brazen Borrower end of turn, though I don't know that I'm going to do that. Let's see what they do first. Abrade my Grim Monolith. I guess I'll tap it for mana. Now they just go to their attacks, I would assume, to clear that mana pool. Yeah, all right. That's fine. I don't really want to cast Confluence here, and I don't really want to cast Borrower. Wait, they can't be serious. They're activating Colonnade? That's a really strange play. They have 6 cards in hand. The best play is to attack with the Celestial Colonnade? I am shocked. All right, well, now I'm definitely casting Brazen Borrower. I have to use up my counter and everything. But what I can do here... Oh, that's actually kind of a nice draw. Let's go Kiki Jiki, because they have 20 cards exactly. Copy the Borrower. Now I can attack for 6, putting them to 8. And then if I don't even know that they're going to tap the One Ring, but now I have Confluence up. If they don't tap the One Ring, they go to 5, but they also don't draw any cards. If they tap the One Ring, yeah, they go to 4. Now they're the ring by itself doesn't kill them, but Borrower will kill them next turn with Kiki, though obviously. I would expect them to have something. I'm just still stunned that their best play was attacking. Okay. Yeah, it's free to charge this thing. The One Ring does eventually have a drawback. It eventually comes calling. All right, let's draw. Do we draw anything of note? No, not really. Let's play our land anyway. All right, I'm going to try to copy the Borrower, I guess. Okay, in response, they draw a bunch of cards. Okay. I don't know how they built their deck, but I don't really understand how that worked. We'll take it, though. Balance looking kind of bad against that deck. They have a lot of artifacts. They didn't have a lot of creatures. I kind of want to side out Balance. And I kind of want to side in Fairy Mastermind. That would have been decent with the One Ring in play. It's actually good because it not only draws you extra cards when they use the One Ring, attacking them when they have One Ring in play is pretty good, as we just saw. All right, well, I'm the one with the One Ring. I could go all in on a turn 2 One Ring. Land, Lotus Petal, Pentad Prism, turn 2 One Ring. I'm not going to do that, though. That does not seem like the play. I'm probably just going to go Spire Bluff, go. Turn 2, maybe I go Iconoclast, Lotus Petal, or probably just Pentad Prism. We'll see. Oh, Deceiver Exarch. Interesting. That does not seem like what I need right now, but not the worst to have on deck. Mana Vault. Well, if that doesn't get used, I might fire off an Exarch to tap it. Let's go Iconoclast. Petal. Just get a little pressure into play. I don't have a huge investment here. If I draw a land, maybe I play the One Ring. I didn't really want to spend turn 2 playing Prism, turn 3 playing One Ring. It just didn't seem like that was the best way to go about things. They have a lot of mana here. Let's see what they do with it. Abrade my Iconoclast, maybe? Sure. 1-for-1 trade. I'm left with a little 1/1 dork. Oh, Urza. Interesting. Getting an Urza into play would certainly be tempting. Let's just pass here. I don't really want to play a Pentad Prism. I want to either leave up Fairy Mastermind or Deceiver Exarch, and I don't really want to use the Lotus Petal to play the Exarch, because if I can get an Urza into play, I'll have access to tons of mana. Let's just play the Mastermind. Okay. No response. Coalition Relic. I'll attack with this. If they want to Shark Typhoon my 1/1, they can. All right. I guess now I play the Pentad Prism. I don't want to sack Lotus Petal to play Relic, because if they counter or kill it, it's just such a disaster for me. I'm not in a huge hurry to tap Mana Vault. It doesn't... Okay. Sure. I was going to say, it doesn't look like they're really using it. I'm glad I didn't play Coalition Relic. Destroying my Pentad Prism. I could play Exarch, but it doesn't really accomplish much for me. Okay, so they go to 16 now. At some point I need to draw a land. It's going to be hard to win this game if I don't. All right, I'll take 5. That's not that fast of a clock. I even have a token to block with. All right, well. Let's see if this resolves. Okay, nice, it does. And at this point, I'm not that worried about Shark Typhoon. If they have it, they have it. They do. Lovely. If they block the Fairy Mastermind, it's a trade. They're just going to eat the token. All right. They go to 14. I still have plenty of mana next turn. They're going to 13 now, unless they pay, which they're not. And then next turn, if I draw a land, I have Mystic Confluence. If not, I have any of the other spells. I might just play one ring here. I guess it depends. If I take 7 going to 7, one ring's a little bit less enticing. Yeah, I'm going to take it though. Okay. Let's see what they've got. I mean, there's a lot that would be problematic. I'm already kind of losing, so... Okay, that's odd. White stone and weak stone, huh? I guess I have to cast the one ring. 6. Tap it. Play an Urza, or an island rather. Attack Gideon here. Alright, well, I don't like how this is going. Attacking into Shark Typhoon didn't work great, but I just thought I was going to be in trouble if they had it anyway. And now they kill my Urza. And if they have another play, it's just going to be really hard. Okay, that's not anything. That's just mana. Okay. Well, that's an old draft deck. I don't know why that popped up. Okay, I'm at 5. Well, I'm going to draw 2 because what I'm going to do, not draw cards. They don't have enough to recast, so let's just go bounce, bounce, draw. Go to 4. And then I will get to kill Gideon here. What is this? It doesn't look good. Dig through time in response. So that's unfortunate because not only do they get to draw 2 off the dig, it also means when the Gearhulk comes back, it's a dig, though. At this point, I was dying pretty quickly to the ring anyway. I'm going to 2 on my upkeep. I guess I could technically find Kiki Jiki. I'm 1 mana short of doing that. I've got a couple ways to get mana. All right. I mean, that's my plan, I suppose. Attack Gideon Jura, attack Gideon Jura. All right. They're going to 10. So I'm not that close to killing them. They can Gearhulk out a dig through time here. They could also just burn me if they have any burn spell. 4th Eorlingus. Yeah, that'll do it. All right. Well, they've got some decent cards. Do I want Snap? Not really. Balance? Balance still really didn't seem that good to me. Treachery? No. Dig through time? No. No, I like where I'm at. I just need to play a land on turn 3 this time. That will probably help. I lost the game where I thought my draw was decent and they didn't have like that fast of a draw, and I won the game where they played a turn 3 ring onto an empty board. But I guess that is how it happens sometimes. All right, I'm on the play. Okay, I'm going to keep this hand. This is a turn 2 Urza if I want to do that. I'd have to go turn 1 Colonnade, turn 2 City of Traders Lotus Petal Urza. I could also cast turn 3 Urza. So one advantage of a turn 3 Urza instead of a turn 2 Urza is I don't have to lose City of Traders right away, and I don't lose the Lotus Petal, so it kind of feels like I can wait. Yeah, let's go Preordain here. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to go Preordain. I'm just going to go Spiral Bluff Go. The reason is, if they play a Talisman, or a Mana Vault or something, I want to be able to Brazen Borrower it. Okay, well, they didn't, but that's okay. Oh, that's fantastic. God, Gitaxian Probe's so good. Now I can decide whether... I was like not sure. I was probably going to go for the Urza. Their hand is Cryptic, Dak, Mizzy Mortar's Fury. Okay. Yeah, let's go Urza. Make a token. Play Lotus Petal. Pass the turn with Brazen Borrower up, and then I can just preordain next turn. I don't need to do it right now. And they're probably gonna, well, they're either gonna Mizzy Mortar's Urza or they're gonna play Dak to steal the construct. I guess we'll find out which. They technically could do both by pitching Mortars to Fury if that's more their jam. Okay, it looks like just Mortars on Urza. Okay, and I think what I might do here actually is play the Ring. I know that they're gonna Dak it, but then I can just Brazen Borrower it back. Put this over there. Okay, draw. Land, I mean, I have to make my land drops. City of Traders is out. Preordain, bottom, I don't need Coalition Relic. And I get to attack for 3. Seems very tempting to steal the Ring here, but we'll see what they do. Yeah. There comes Dak. Yep, steal the Ring. And they play Colonnade, so that we know their hand. All right. Draw. Ooh, I even have a Charta Course. All right, let's attack Dak Faden here. And I guess I'm playing around days either way, so let's start with the Charta Course. Volcanic and Petty Theft the Ring back to my hand. Okay, well, they can have Cryptic up now, so I can still play this Brazen Borrower. But, and they do, but this was still, given the exchange, I mean, having the probe info really made it easy to play around this. Because now I just send here. I'm not going to play one ring into their face-up Cryptic command. And I just pass with 2 fairies I can play at instant speed. If they want to end of turn Cryptic, they can. They did not. Preordain. Yeah, that's fine. It's unfortunate that they did that, because what I was hoping to do was end of turn Brazen Borrower, they go Cryptic counter, bounce, and draw, and I play Fairy Mastermind to draw a card, but I'll do this instead. Okay, I'm not going to play the Fairy Mastermind then, because they have Fury in hand, so I don't really want to run into that. But if they want to not use their Cryptic mana, that is fine with me. I'm just going to pass. I'm going to set up a nice Sundering Titan is what I'm going to do. They can Fury my stuff away all they want. I'm playing at instant speed here, and I know their hand. Gitaxian Probe straight up won me this game. Like, it made it a lot easier to play this. Oh, Urza. They've already played their land. I'm going to respond. I'm going to tap their Jetmir's Garden. That's fine. Basically, oh, I know. Let's not untap it. I know what their hand is now, so now they don't have Cryptic up. They thought they were going to have Cryptic up, but now if they want to cast Cryptic, they have to just randomly main phase it. Because we know that they've played Mountain Plain, so we know their hand is Island, Cryptic, Fury, so they can't alt cast Fury either. So their shields were down for a second, and now that they're just going to fire off the Cryptic just in the void here. What are they going to do? Bounce a Colonnade, or bounce the token, draw a card maybe? And then I'm going to play, bounce Lotus Petal, draw a card? That might be the worst target on the entire board, counting their stuff. I could just counter it if I wanted by sacking the Lotus Petal. I'm not going to. Let's see. Okay. So the one thing is, Alt-cast Fury is going to be pretty annoying here. I have 4 creatures it kills. But, let's see. Wait, they're at 9? Oh. Yeah, that's a lot less interesting. I was going to get to Sundering Titan them. I was going to do all this. Instead, I'm just going to have to use Boring Old, attack you for 11 in the air. All right, that plays 2. And Gitaxian Probe claims another victim. All right, on to round 3. Let's see if we can pull out a 2-1 here. We've earned our victory, Spindrift, by being 1-1. Yeah, I mean, this deck is fine. Honestly, if this deck had a little bit more, like, let's say, Miscalculation or Spell Pierce Mana Leak, that one of those kind of cards, or Tolarian Academy, of course, would be a huge win. Or a second copy of Kiki, like a Splinter Twin specifically. Because then if 2 and 2 is like a really good setup. Exarch Pestermite, Twin Kiki. This deck's just like a little bit short. I also haven't drawn like an early Tinker to really do that. Like, I haven't had any early Tinker draws. But this deck, let's just say add to that the fact that this doesn't have any like truly busted cards. If I was playing in a 64 player draft, right, I would mulligan this deck. I would say I would rather draft a new deck than draft this one. That said, I bet we can pull out the 2-1 here. We really got to Gitaxian Probe our opponent that game, though. I mean, I don't know exactly how different things would have played out, but like Dak and Cryptic and Fury are all really good cards to know about when casting your spells. Like, certainly I wouldn't have, in response to their Urza, played Pestermite to tap their 4th land before they had access to the Urza mana, which is how we played around Cryptic there. Not an unreasonable play by them. Like, they played Urza to have Cryptic up still, and I had a Brazen Borrower in play. And then all of a sudden I had a Pestermite and a Yuta Takahashi in play, and then they were just dead till the Colonnade. But also Bouncing Lotus Petal is just a deranged play. Like, it just is. Not only does it cost 0 mana, so I can cast it for free, I could just sack it if I didn't want them to draw a card. Like, bounce a Celestial Colonnade. That thing killed you. Okay. Round 3. Rickest Morty. I bet they love some Szechuan sauce or something. Look, I've watched Rick and Morty. It's fine. Not a religious experience by any stretch. The last season I don't think was very good. It is an overall funny show. I'm really asking for it by expressing that opinion, I'm sure. All right. I mean, I'm going to keep this hand, like, it's a little slow in that it's got 2 4-drops on the draw with no acceleration, but I've got a couple things going for me. 1, Caracas randomly just like, oh, you have a turn 2 Refeller's draw? No. 2, they're mulliganing. 3, I have Balance. Balance is really good at recovering from slow draws. The only disadvantage to Balance in a slow draw is you end up discarding a bunch of cards because they've, played out their board. But if I draw a couple artifacts, that could not be the case. All right. Jund? Are we getting Junded? No plays. So often I don't like running Caracas out before they play any legends, but because of some haste legends like Ragavan and Lelia, I kind of like doing so. No, Green Sun's Zenith. See, oh, Pest Infestation. Okay. People don't really play against Lotus Petal very well. Granted, it actually was the case where I probably shouldn't have even played the Lotus Petal. There was just no reason to get Rex Saged or whatever. But I actually like how that exchange went because Pest Infestation is really good against me. Trading for it for a 0 mana spell is awesome. Oh, and they don't play anything this turn? All right. I'm not going to play Urza here. I'm just going to play the one and only Ring. I want to play Urza when I have Caracas to protect it, and they're a Jund deck that missed a land drop and didn't play anything. They obviously have removal spells in hand. Also going to wait to tap the One Ring in case they have Terra Sunder in response. This way they have to do it on their turn. It's more awkward. And if they have it, they have it. Do they have it? Nope, they don't. All right. Well, now I'm going to do it just because Might as well. Let's play Urza. I don't really need to Pentad Prism here. I could play Pentad Prism into Urza, just putting Pentad Prism into play effectively, but I can just wait on that. Then I'll cast Preordain, bottom. I'm going to bottom Chart, of course. I feel like with the One Ring out, I don't really need a card draw spell because I don't want to spend mana on drawing cards. I'm already drawing tons of cards. Tinker was great, though. We're going to end the game with Sundering Titan in about a turn here. Season Pyro. That is not going to do it. I mean, at best, they play a land. I guess they could go Swamp, Duress You, you know, Thoughtseize, Inquisition, some of those things. But honestly, I don't even think I need the Tinker to win this game. I am going to lose an island, though. I regret to inform you. I'll probably Tinker away the One Ring. They discarded Questing Beast and Minskin Boo. Okay. And then they have Wasteland for my Caracas. Sure. I don't really want to bounce Urza here. I don't need a token that badly. I'm probably going to bin the One Ring here. Actually, I guess drawing first is like a little bit greedy because of I could just draw the stupid Sundering Titan, but we didn't, so I'm at 17. I don't need to bin the One Ring. Let's go Pentad Prism, Grim Monolith, tap the Prism, tinker away the Prism, Sunderino Grande here. That I would assume prompts a concession. Yeah. Okay. Playing against John here. I don't want Very Mastermind. I'm debating if I want Doretti or Itali, like some big uns. I think Balance is still going to be good. Brazen Borrower looks kind of... Well, no, Brazen Borrower is okay against Minskin Boo. Caracas is also busted against Minskin Boo. Oh, they discarded their 2 legends that lost to Caracas. That makes sense. All right, let's just fire... No, actually, I should put a Treachery in. Hold on. Maybe I cut Probe. No, I don't know. Didn't get there in time. Whatever. If we go to game 3, which is highly unlikely, maybe I'll put a Treachery in. Well, I am going to mulligan this hand, though. Okay. Keep. I guess I'm putting Otari on the bottom or Exarch. Otari or Exarch. Let's actually put Exarch on the bottom. Exarch's not really doing much. This is a turn 2 Tinker hand, if I want it to be. Turn 1 Colonnade. Ooh, interesting. Turn 2 City of Traders, cast Monolith, tinker away Monolith. I might just tinker for Sundering Titan. So with Sundering Titan, especially since they let on a tri-land, I kind of want to wait a turn. The main risk of waiting a turn is if they play Inquisition or Thoughtseize. But if they didn't play one on turn 1, they're not that likely to. Let's just go Caracas Go. And the reason I'm not playing the Grim Monolith is if they Pest Infestation or Rexage or whatever, the Monolith, my Tinker goes away. I would rather not have that happen. I want to get one more land out of the deal, and Caracas stops 2 of the 4 drops we've seen. Okay. They don't have a land here? No plays. Another elf. Okay. No other play. Yeah, I guess at this point I'm just going to go for it then. Oh, actually, hold on. I can do even better. Yeah, because now I get to go... This is amazing, actually. Balance. We are going to demolish them. I'm going to go, unless they have an instant speed artifact rules, well, I get to sack my City of Traders as the land that's going away anyway when I play my Lex land. Kill their 2 elves, they discard a card. And then I'm going to tinker for Sundering Titan, and they're going to have no permanence in play. Okay, yeah, that worked out pretty well, actually. All right. Blue, tinker, sack that. Oh, you know what? Conveniently, neither of my lands have land types. The best thing they can have is Snuff out here, and they did not. All right, well, that was a beating. All right, you know what? As far as things go, that deck was solid. Let's take a look here. It was missing a few things, but you know what? It worked out. We got the 2-1, and the deck we lost to was quite a bit better than ours, so I will take it. Thanks for watching. This is a fun draft. We'll get them next time with the 3-0, I'm sure. Or not, we'll try. And I hope you enjoyed me casting Urza for maybe not the first time this Q season, and certainly not the last. I'll see you next time.